Yeah, so tonight we've got Spartan Ops, our new cooperative, episodic multiplayer mode. So we have that playable. We also have war games here. So we're showing a couple different PvP modes, Infinity Slayer and Regicide, 2 new modes for Halo. Spartan Ops really for us is kind of taking co-op forward. And so what it is, it's a whole season. So season 1 of Spartan Ops is part of the Halo 4 package. And every week we're going to release 1 episode of a linear story that takes place on the UNSC Infinity, the fiction being you are Spartan 4 serving aboard the UNSC Infinity. So every week a linear episode and 5 game missions that you can play cooperatively with your friends. So really the idea of having sort of a continuing story that you participate in, as well as a place to show up every week and be able to share that experience with your friends. So Season 1 is absolutely built into Halo 4. So everything besides your Xbox Live Gold membership is built into the game. So we really want people to start to experience this new way of kind of delivering and ingesting multiplayer content. Each episode is going to be probably about 5 to 7 minutes. We have a whole story arc, and we've worked with our own writing team and also external consultants on building an episodic, serialized story. It's a really important story. So, the story arc itself holds up against any number of other stories we tell in the Halo universe. So, it's not something we just sort of threw together and said, oh, this kind of helps people move along in multiplayer. It is a meaningful story that we want to tell and that you get to experience. Competitive multiplayer is such a key piece of Halo, and we wanted to make sure that we preserve the things that have made it Halo multiplayer, but also really looked at how do we start to keep our sandbox and our balance true, but allow players to start to have a few more options with how they play and what they choose to play with. So really taking customization beyond a cosmetic level and allowing players the choice to really play to their own play style. You can customize loadouts. I think part of it is customizing towards how you're best at playing. Part of it is, for instance, with Spartan Ops, what that particular mission is and what you're going to face, right? And that way when you're playing with friends, you could choose different loadouts that are really optimized in different ways. There's still the cosmetic armor, right? So you can still customize how you look and how you show up. But really being able to play the way you want to is a key tenet for us. There are some new armor abilities and also kind of armor mods that we're looking at. So both short-term and sustained modifications that really just give you a little bit of a boost again to help you sort of play to your play style. So really giving you a little bit of an edge in the places where you feel like you can do better. Not huge game-changing things. The point is not to unbalance the game. It's to let people have choices. Yeah, so that was Infinity Slayer, which is one of our new PvP modes. And it's essentially Team Slayer, but you can drop in personal ordnance. So basically, as you accrue points during the game, at some point you have earned ordnance drops. And so there'll be a couple randomized options of what you can choose to call in, and you can call those in the multiplayer match. Regicide we're also showing, and we have it on the floor as well. It's sort of a king of the hill. You have one person who's the king. It makes for a great dynamic towards the end of the match because everyone gets more points for killing the king. It's kind of like Mario Kart. The response to the gameplay we showed in the briefing has been really incredibly positive. It's been incredible. So the team feels great. I think there's really 2 things from a campaign standpoint that we've really focused on that are really meaningful. One is the storytelling. And not just the kind of story we're telling, but how we're telling it, and really that journey that Chief is taking. The other part is we've added this whole new enemy class, and Halo is built on this amazing sandbox, and we've just added a gigantic new toolbox into that sandbox. So, everything from the encounters and the enemies you face themselves to the things they may drop, it's a huge game changer for the sandbox. We worked through so many different things early on, and yeah, we're really deliberate in thinking all of these things through. We're lucky to have Frank O'Connor, who is amazing at both guiding the team and helping them understand what makes sense, but also when the team really wants to do something, he figures out how to make it make sense in canon and in the universe as well. He is the master of canon, and he also brings a really strong opinion on gameplay, which we love. We don't always agree with, but that's good. It is, and believe me, we have a lot of healthy debates across the studio all the time. But yeah, he and his team have been amazing to work with because it's allowed us, he and his team support the game with incredible stories. Something we want to do 2 years out, he'll start seeding in something they're working on now, and it's really made the fiction something really meaningful. And so he's an amazing partner to have. Taking over Halo, I think it's probably one of the most unique sort of situations to have in the industry. I think for a lot of reasons. One is taking over this incredibly successful IP that's also kind of at a pivotal point in its life cycle. The other is being a startup within Microsoft, right? And building a team from scratch. And I think that we face a lot of different pressures from a lot of different directions all the time. I think we put more pressure on ourselves than probably anybody else does because we love Halo. We're passionate about it as well, and we feel such a stake in making sure that the future of Halo is amazing that I think we end up sort of grinding ourselves into the ground a lot more than, yeah. We are incredibly excited about the innovations we're adding in multiplayer. Spartan Ops, personally, we think is going to be a really radically different way of playing with your friends. And on top of that, being able to have your Spartan, carry that Spartan over into war games and have sort of that single character instead of experience points and customization is really amazing. Halo 4 is coming exclusively to the Xbox 360 on November 6th. Very short time away.